Good afternoon, all of you. So, welcome to the online platform of the civils. And in the previous class, we have discussed about the soils, and the same topic is today. I am going to continue the same topic. Good afternoon, Reshma, and I request all of you to join us as soon as possible. Okay, so in the last class we have discussed about soil, and I am continuing the same topic. Very good afternoon, Munir. So join us as soon as possible. Okay, the topic was soil. Okay, this was the topic we were discussing. Okay, and in the last class we have discussed about the definition of soil, and then the characteristics of soil. Okay, characteristics of soils. Then after we have I have discussed about the factors that controlling the origin of soil. Okay, factor controlling the formation of soil. Okay, now today the topic will be today's first topic will be the pedogenic regime. Okay, pedogenic regime, it is very important for pre as well as mains. Okay, so I am starting with the topic pedogenic regime. Okay, pedogenic regime or pedogenic process. Okay, or pedogenic process. This is the topic, pedogenic process. First, I am starting with the definition of what is pedogenic process or pedogenic regime. Okay, look here, pedogenic regime is simply, it is a set of process. Okay, pedogenic regime is a set of processes, okay, operating under, it is a set of processes operating under a particular type of environment. Okay, it is a set of process operating under a particular type of environment, okay, particular type of environmental condition, okay. It is a set of processes. What is pedogenic regime or pedogenic process? It is a set of processes, okay, operating under a particular type of environmental condition, okay, leading to the evolution of typical characteristics, leading to evolution of typical, okay, of typical characteristics, evolution of typical characteristics of soil is called soil regime. Okay, pedogenic regime, okay, called pedogenic regime. So simply it is a set of processes, okay, and this set of process operates only under a particular environmental condition, Okay, so set of processes that operate under particular environmental condition and which are responsible behind the development of, evolution of, okay, typical characteristics of soil. Okay, so this is what pedogenic processes or pedogenic regime. Okay, so in the simple term, it is a process, but this process operates only in a typical or a particular environmental condition. Okay, so all those processes which operates under a particular type of environmental condition, okay, and help in the development of, evolution of, okay, a special type of, evolution of typical characteristics of soil is called pedogenic regime or pedogenic processes. Okay, and the most important pedogenic processes are the most important. Okay, so there are a large number of processes, but most important pedogenic regime or processes are, okay, there are large number of processes but or pedogenic regime, but the most important are: number one, podolization. Okay, podolization. Okay, these are the most important pedogenic regime. First is what? Podolization. Okay, second is lateralization. Okay, lateralization. The third is calcification. Okay, the first is podolization, second is lateralization, third is calcification, fourth is salinization. Okay, calcification, salinization, and the fifth is glaciation. G-L-E-I-Z. Okay, Z-A-N-A-T-I-O-N. So these are the most important. Okay, glaciation. Okay, so these are the most important pedogenic regime or pedogenic process. Okay, so first of all, what is the definition of pedogenic process? It is the set of process, okay, that operate in a particular type of environment and that processes are responsible behind the evolution of a typical characteristics in soil. Okay, characteristics of soil we have discussed about: soil texture, soil structure. Okay, we have discussed about all the characteristics of soil structure, color. Okay, then thickness of soil. So we have discussed about the permeability of soil, okay, the fertility of soil. So these all are the features of soil, okay, characteristics of soil. So all those processes which are responsible behind the evolution of typical characteristics in soil, but these typical characteristics are evolved in soil only in a particular type of environmental condition. So all those processes which are responsible behind this is known as pedogenic regime. Okay, there are many processes involved, but the most important processes are podolization, lateralization, okay, podolization, lateralization, then calcification, then salinization and glaciation. Okay, so now I am going to discuss about these 6 processes which are very important for pre-examination. Okay, I hope it is clear. Very good afternoon to all of you. Okay, very good afternoon those who are joining now. So this is clear to all of you. This is clear. What is pedogenic regime or pedogenic process? This is very important for pre-examination. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. I want answer from all of you. Is it clear to all of you? What is the meaning of soil or pedogenic regime or pedogenic processes? It is simply, it is a set of process. Okay, but this set of process operates under a special, okay, it operates under a special, okay, under a particular type of environment. Okay, and these sets of process are responsible behind the development of very different type of characteristics in soil. Okay, now first of all, what is and these are the most important. Okay, there are a large number of processes which are involved in the development of typical characteristics in soil, but these are the most important. Okay, what I have said, not only six, these six are responsible. These are the six pedogenic process. There are large number of pedogenic process. There are large number of pedogenic regime. Okay, but these six are the most important. Okay, five are the most important. Now, the first is podolization. Podolization. Okay, the first is podolization. Okay, look, this pedogenic regime are associated with this pedogenic regime is associated with humid temperate, okay, climate. Associated with humid temperate climate. This is very important. Humid, okay, humid means plenty of water is available in the form of precipitation because it is a climate environment. Okay, and we all know the elements of climate and environment. Humid temperate climate. Okay, associated with means this type of, okay, this pedogenic regime occurs in where? Humid temperate climate. Okay, commonly in the coniferous regime. Okay, commonly in coniferous forest region, where coniferous forest is found. Okay, in these regions such type of processes take place, such type of regime takes place. And we all know what is temperate climate. The climate, okay, the climate, this temperate climate region is the region between 45 degree to 65 degree latitudes. Okay, temperate climate, and this is the region of temperate cyclone. Okay, and in this region what we found, coniferous forest region is there. Okay, and in this coniferous forest region, okay, what happened, a very different type of, one of the most important type of pedogenic process is found, that is called podolization. Okay, now what happened, the soil of this regime, okay, lack in bases, okay, oxides of iron, etc. Okay. Now, the soil of this region lack in bases, oxide of resin, and why they lack in, and this is only because of a process called leaching. Okay, leaching is the process, and because of this process, this soil is lack in bases. Okay, we know what is bases. Bases are all those elements with pH value less than 7 is called base, and if the pH value is more than 7, that is called acids. Okay, the soil of this region lacks in bases and oxide of iron. Okay, and the main reason behind the deficiency of bases and oxides of iron is leaching. Okay, leaching is the process of settling down of soluble minerals in the lower layer of soil. Okay, leaching is what? It is the process of, leaching is the reason. Leaching is the main reason behind the deficiency of bases, oxides of iron in the area where podologization process takes place. Okay. Now, leaching is what? It is simply the process of removal of minerals, but soluble minerals in solution form. Removal of minerals in solution form. Okay, solution form from the upper layer. Solution form from upper layer. Okay, the process of removal of minerals in solution form from upper layers to the lower layer, layers to the upper layer to the lower layer. Okay, this is called leaching. Means what? Suppose this is upper layer, this is the layer of soil. Okay, this is soil, and since it is a humid temperate region, okay, means water rainfall is taking place. So the nutrients of soil, suppose these are the nutrients. So because of water, these nutrients settle down. Okay, these nutrients dissolve in water and settle down in the lower layer of, this is the upper layer. Okay, and these minerals, okay, dissolve in water and settle down in the lower layer, okay, inside the earth, inside the soil, in the lower layer of the soil. So this is the process, leaching process, and because of this leaching process, these soils, okay, the soils of this regime, okay, lack in bases and oxides of iron. Okay, since leaching takes place and most of the minerals, okay, which are present in the upper layer of soil dissolve in rainwater and move downward. Okay, so there is a lack of nutrients in the upper layer, and that's why the soil of this podologization regime, okay, processes where podologization process takes place, the soils of this regime are less fertile. So I hope it is clear what is the podologization. Okay, this pedogenic regime is basically occurs in where humid temperate climate, okay, in between 45 to 65 degree, okay. Because of rainfall, the minerals present in the upper layer of the soil, okay, dissolve in rainwater and settle down in the lower strata or layer of soil, okay. So this process is called podolization. I hope it is clear. It is clear to all of you what is the meaning of podolization? I want answer from all of you. Is it clear to all of you what is the meaning of podolization? Podolization is a what? It is a pedogenic process. Okay, pedogenic process is the process of incorporation of different characteristics in soil, and that takes place in a very typical type of environmental condition. Okay, any problem to anyone? Very good afternoon, Priya, Nagma, Salman, those who are joining. Okay, now I want answer from all of you. This podolization, where it takes place? Only in temperate climate, the climate where coniferous forests are found. Okay, but humid means rainfall is taking place. Okay, now I want answer from all of you. This processes, okay, this pedogenic regime is clear or not? No. Is it clear to all of you? Now I am moving to the second process, second pedogenic regime, okay, or set of processes, okay, or process. The second is lateralization. Okay, the second is okay, this process or this pedogenic regime is also called fertilization. Okay, fertilization, and associated with this process, okay, this soil regime, this pedogenic regime is associated with tropical and subtropical climate, tropical and subtropical climate. Okay, tropical and subtropical, okay, warm and humid, okay, so with warm and humid, tropical and subtropical climate where what happened, where wet and dry season alternate, where wet and dry season are alternate. Okay, so lateralization is also known as fertilization. Okay, what is lateralization? It is a soil regime, sorry, pedogenic regime, pedogenic process. And what is pedogenic process? Pedogenic process is the process which are responsible behind incorporation of typical type of characteristics in soil, but associated with a very particular type of environmental condition. Okay, this lateralization is also known as fertilization, and it is associated with warm and humid tropical and subtropical climate. Okay, tropical climate means what? The climate between the tropics. Climate between the tropics means Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, and 23.5 degree to 40 degree. The area between this is called subtropical climate in both the hemisphere. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So this type lateralization is the pedogenic regime associated with tropical and subtropical climate where wet and dry season comes alternately. Okay, now what is the main feature of this? What happened due to this warm and humid? Means water rainfall takes place due to precipitation. Okay, the soluble minerals leached. Okay, due to in this soil, in this pedogenic regime, what happened? The soluble minerals due to heavy rainfall or due to high rainfall of this tropical and subtropical areas, what happened? The soluble minerals leached or washed away, left the nodules of aluminium and ferrous. Nodules, insoluble minerals are left in the uppermost layer of soil. Okay, so the nodules of aluminium and ferrous, since ferrous nodule is more in quantity, that's why it is also called fertilization. Okay, so what happened due to high rainfall? The soluble minerals settled or leached, and what is leaching I have discussed, but the insoluble, but those minerals which are insoluble, which are not soluble in water, rainwater. Okay, these insoluble minerals and basic and particularly aluminium and ferrous, iron, the nodules of aluminium and ferrous, nodules of aluminium and iron left in the upper layer of the soil. Okay, since ferrous is there, that's why the soil which are formed in this regime, okay, by this process are red in color. Red in color. Okay, red in color because of warm, because of temperature. Okay, the humus content is less. Humus content is less, and this soil is also not very fertile. Okay, not very fertile. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. What is lateralization? It is a soil or it is a pedogenic processes, okay, also known as fertilization. Under this process of this process is associated with, this pedogenic process is associated with tropical and subtropical climate. Okay, where wet and dry season comes alternately. Okay, I hope it is clear to all of you. I want answer from all of you. I want answer. The process of or the pedogenic process of lateralization. Good afternoon, Gokul, Silpa, Priya. Okay. Now I want answer from all of you. Is it okay? Now I am moving to the third process, which is called calcification. Okay. Calcification. The third process is calcification. These are very important. These pedogenic regimes are very important, okay, for pre-examination as well as mains examination, but not in mains. Basically it is important for pre. The third is calcification, okay, calcification, okay. Now this pedogenic regime, this pedogenic regime is associated with those area where with the area where evaporation exceeds, okay, exceeds precipitation. Okay, means the area, this pedogenic regime, calcification process of soil formation, okay, calcification process is associated with those area where evaporation is more than rainfall. So the area where evaporation is less and evaporation is more and precipitation is less, that area will be dry, desert area, okay, that area will be dry area, or okay, where an average, and what I am saying, not an average precipitation, evaporation exceeds precipitation, average evaporation exceeds precipitation, okay. So this is the area where less rainfall, okay. Now this area is associated with, means the calcification process is basically, it is a process that takes place in the mid latitude area, okay, steppe grassland area, okay, steppes, the area steppes grassland, okay, steppes grassland climate, steppe grassland of, okay. So this is what this calcification process is, the process that are found in those area where evaporation exceeds precipitation, and this is basically dry region. But this dry region is of, we all know there is a dry desert area is also dry, but the mid latitude steppe areas region is also in this area the evaporation is less than evaporation is more and precipitation is less. So the calcification process takes place in the mid latitude or steppe region area, okay. Now look here, since precipitation is less here, so the leaching process will restricted, because for leaching there is a need of water, okay. Since precipitation is less here, so leaching is also restricted, and because of restricted leaching, okay, the carbonate of calcium and magnesium, okay, the carbonates of, okay, or the ions of calcium and magnesium, ions of calcium and magnesium are found in large quantity in the upper layer of soil, okay. Leaching process is restricted here, okay. Why leaching process is restricted here? Because of less precipitation. Because for leaching, what is leaching? It is the process of settling down of dissolve or minerals in solution, dissolve minerals from upper layer to the lower layer of soil. But in the areas where this process takes place in the dry region, in the area where evaporation is more than precipitation, means water, rainfall is taking place in very small quantity. Okay, since water is less, so which process? Leaching process will not take place, or the leaching process will be very slow process. Okay, restricted. Since leaching process is restricted here, that's why the soil, the upper layer of soil contain huge amount of calcium and magnesium. And apart from that, capillary process. We all know capillary process. Okay, the soil from capillary process, by the process of capillary, calcium carbonate from the by the process of capillary, okay, calcium carbonate moves from the lower layer of soil to the upper layer of soil, moves upward and found in slab form, okay, deposited in the upper layer, and this is called hard pans. This is called hard pans. Means what? Due to capillary process in the mid latitudinal steppe region, or where this calcification process takes place, what happened? The calcium carbonate move upward and they deposited in the form of slab in the layer, in the where upper layer of soil, and this is called hard pans. Okay, very rich in humus and very high fertile. Okay, the soil where this process takes place, okay, this calcification process regime, okay, the soil of this process, the soil which incorporate special characteristics, typical characteristics in soil, okay, that soil is very, very, very fertile. Okay, so the calcification pathogenic process, okay, the soil which are formed, or the soil in which a special type of characteristics are incorporated by this calcification pathogenic regime, are very, very, very fertile. Okay, I hope it is clear what is calcification. Okay, I hope it is clear to all of you. Now I want answer. Now tell me, it is clear what is calcification? I want answer from all of you. Is it clear what is the meaning of calcification, and where this pathogenic processes or pathogenic regime operates? Okay, now I am moving to the next, and that is called salinization. Okay, pathogenic regime. The next is salinization. Okay, now look, this process, salinization pedogenic process, is associated with those area, okay, are associated with poorly drained area, are associated with those area which are poorly drained, are associated with poorly drained area. Okay, poorly drained area means the streams of that area, okay, disappear, or the streams of that area drained into a depressed land, okay, not in the ocean. So poorly drained area is the area, okay, where rivers or small channels are disappear in the adjoining area, or they drained into a depressed area or a big depressed area. Okay, so this is area, poorly drained area, and we all know the desert area are poorly desert area. Like example of Luni disappear in the desert of Ran of Kutch. Okay, so basically this salinization pedogenic process takes place or occurs in desert area, and in this area, why this process occur? Because of poor drainage system. Okay, poor drainage system is a system in which river disappear in the adjacent area or in the adjoining area, or disappear in a lake, we can say, or in the big depression. Okay, they fail to reach ocean, because we all know the rivers drained into ocean. But there are large number of small rivers that drained, that disappear. Okay, they suddenly disappear, or they disappear in big depression. Okay, so this salinization process is basically associated with poor, where there is a poorly drained area, means associated with poorly drained area. Okay, and poorly drained area are mostly found in desert area. Okay, now since the area is poorly drained, that's why the soil contains huge amount of salt. Okay, but in calcification, magnesium, and we all know that magnesium and calcium is also found in where calcification process takes place, in the area where this calcification. But here huge amount of salt is found. Okay, huge amount of salt is found in the upper layer of the soil, and this is only because of poor draining system. Okay, since huge amount of salt is found, that's why the soil is salty in nature. Okay, the soil of this area, desert area, are salty and are less fertile. Okay, here the salt like sulfates, chlorides of calcium and sodiums are found in huge quantity. Okay, sulfates, chlorides and sulfides. Okay, chloride and chloride of sulfide and chlorides of calcium and sodium. Okay, sulfate and chloride of calcium and sodiums are found in large quantity. So this is what this process is called, salinization. Okay, pedogenic process only occur in the area where drainage system is poor. Okay, and since desert area is the area where drainage systems are very poor, that's why this pedogenic process operates only in the desert area. Okay, since water evaporates, okay, water evaporates to huge amount of, because of evaporation, huge amount of salt, sulfate and chlorides of calcium and sulfates are left on the uppermost layer of soil. That makes the soil infertile. Okay, so this is what. Now the next is glaciation. The next process is okay. This is the next pedogenic process. Okay. Now this pedogenic process is also associated in poorly drained, okay, poorly drained but not desert environment, okay, but not where, but not saline environment, desert environment, but not saline, don't write here desert, but not poorly drained, but not in saline environment. Okay, this granulation process is also takes place in poorly drained area, but not just like that, just right here, but not in, but not associated with desert environment, okay, poorly drained area but not, okay, desert environment. This poorly drained area is associated with moist and cold climate, moist and cold. So the salinization process was also taking place in the area which was poorly drained. Glaciation is also occurs in the area associated with the area where drainage system is very poor, but that area is associated with moist and cold climate, not cold drained area, but not associated with desert environment, associated with moist and cold climate. Okay, now what happened here? Due to moist and cold climate, the decomposition of dead remains of dead parts of plant, the process of decomposition of dead parts of plants became slow. Okay, so temperature is low, moist area is there, water is available, but the climate is cold, and since in cold climate the development of microorganism is the development or the growth of microorganism decompositions, the growth rate of decomposers is very slow. Growth of decomposer takes place in the cold climate. Since the growth of decomposers, the growth rate of decomposers is less here, that's why the dead remains of plants, okay, the dead remains of plants are not decomposed, okay. So what happened? So these undecomposed plants are remain in soil, while decomposed the rate is slow. Decomposition rate is slow because of cold climate, because in cold climate we all know the growth of decompositions, the rate of growth of decomposition is very slow, okay. So because of less decomposers, the decomposition, okay, do not take place here or takes place with a very slow rate. That's why the soil of this area contain huge amount of undecomposed material, okay, which are in the form of sticky material, okay, चिपचिपा material के रूप में, sticky material, which is known as glitch. Okay, so this is sticky material, which is known as glitch. That process is called glaciation. So glaciation is a pathogenic regime process, okay, and this process is associated with the area which is poorly drained. And we all know poorly drained area is the feature of it is the main feature of desert climate, dry climate. But this glaciation process takes place in the climate which is moist and cold, okay. In the cold climate, the decomposers are found in a very small quantity. And since decomposers are found in very in a very low quantity, the rate of decomposition is also very slow. Since the rate of decomposition is slow, that's why the soil of this region contain huge amount of organic material, okay, which are known as glitch, okay. किस फॉर्म में होता है? The organic materials are in the form of sticky, in the form of they are in the form of sticky material, okay, which is known as glaze, and this process is called glaciation, okay. So I hope it is clear. I want answer from all of you. Is it clear to all of you? What is the process of glaciation? It is this pathogenic process is the process associated with the poorly drained area, but not associated with the dry climate, associated with moist and cold, okay. Since water is in plenty, humid climate, moist climate means water is there, but climate is cold, and in the cold climate, the decomposers, okay, the rate of decomposition of material, organic material, is very slow. That's why huge amount of organic material is found in the form of sticky material, which is known as glitch, and this is called glaciation, okay. So is it clear to all of you? Is it clear? I want answer from all of you. Is it clear? Okay. So this is the soil regime. Okay, pedogenic regime or pedogenic process. Pedogenic regime is the set of processes. Okay, and these sets of process are operates under a very special type of very typical type, very that operates in particular type of environmental condition, and these process incorporate what incorporate these incorporate a feature, okay, special feature in the soil, okay, characteristics of soil, which is known as pedogenic regime. Okay, and there are five pedogenic regime I have discussed here. Okay, so this is what pedogenic regime. Tomorrow we will start the classification of soil. This is a lengthy chapter, that's why it is taking time. It will take 3 or 4 classes. So 2 we have completed, and in 2 class we will complete this entire soil. Okay, so thank you and take care.